Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
We can.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good, man. Pretty good day today.
Yeah, I just woke up from a fucking 4-hour nap, dude.
It must be nice.
Got wrecked out, man.
Is this too tiny for you guys?
A little bit.
I like analyzing a little bit on
I
this
don't
one.
usually
Though.
judge on size, but
I have you on the big screen TV, and it was still too small to read.
a little small for me there, Shorty.
It makes it so much easier to analyze stocks on a larger screen.
Oh yeah, sure, because you can look at it a lot more.
I pretty much see the whole freaking 10, 30 days here in a row.
How big of a screen are you on?
I have 249-inch screens.
Nice. I'm on my 6-inch screen iPhone, so this works perfect.
All right, so let's take a look at this. Let's start with the daily today. We know what happened. I think it was, this was fake, and then here this is where I was really excited to short. Does everybody know why 41.55 was important? I just want to make sure that you guys understand it. A few days back, I mentioned, on 7 days, if you guys took up, the fibs, this is, where we're rejecting today. 41.55 right? So that was pretty much the level I was after. And if you guys if you go on 3 minutes and you guys look at this, did anyone get my message when I said I'm kind of looking at these zones here? It was this zone here. And then it was this zone here. Did you guys have this charted? So if you did, I mean, it was pretty good. I would say it worked out pretty.
I had the top one, but I didn't have that bottom one.
Yeah, I got stopped out here on futures. I thought they would. Well, this is where they got me though. It went nice here, and I was like, "Oh man, look at this volume here." And I was like, "Man, this is probably setting up for a nice little bear flag and a flush." And then I was like, "Okay, I really don't think they're gonna break this. If they break this supply, they're not gonna break here." And I just started adding a little bit more contracts on 4100s as we kept going up, and then I'm like, okay, as they come here, if you guys look at this volume here, they came here, they had an uptick in volume, and they started absorbing these orders at this level. And then I was like, okay, well, this is the supply they're after. Then obviously they created identical double top. And if you guys look here with a little bit less volume, and then a big old, this one here gave me a little bit more relaxation, like, hey, be patient and just wait. And I was already down at some point quite a bit on my contracts. I was like, okay, and I couldn't really look at the charts the whole day. So I was like, I'll just wait. And, I put some alarms and alerts. And I was like, if this starts popping, I'm just going to start taking some profits off. And then, I mean, it just, accelerated here quite a bit. And the contracts paid nicely. So I was able to make decent amount today on SPX. Hopefully you guys had a good day. And then in terms of your daily profile, there's something interesting happening. Hopefully you guys had a chance to look at it. Does anyone want to take a stab at analyzing maybe at least, let's say, the 3-day balance, or I would ignore this day here? Anyone want to analyze this right here?
Well, didn't they take us out of balance and now we're kind of back in balance? So it's like they're trying to do one more consolidation.
Well, yes. Why is this POC fairly important? Like I was targeting this today. Why do you think this is important?
That's where they bought. That's where they collected up, and then they brought it up to sell.
And this is
And
also
it's also a
profile
VPOC.
where-
It's also a VPOC.
That's correct. So 4107, and you guys probably heard me say it today a lot. That was my target. That should have been what they tapped. They will tap it here shortly. But there's something else about this profile here. Remember that, when you have the price spike, when the price action leaves value area late in the day, those things have to be reconfirmed, right? And they usually you want to see them hold here. They failed. So now you failed this one here, right? This was a really compressed profile. You entered inside of this value here. We're gonna change this color here, but actually purple. Being dumpster's probably not on to get on my ass about color changes. Okay, so now if you guys look at this range, this is the range where we flew from last time, right? We went there. Now you broke that POC this value area high here. You're inside. So there's a high chance that we come back here, retest it. And if we fail here, you know, there's a high chance you're going to be executing the 40.99. And that's just a 3-day balance. And I know this one is a little bit important just because this VPOC and how we left this from, I would say, lowercase b shape profile, which had a double distribution. So now this is a shelf that it's gonna basically play a resistance on it. From here, I would say, you know, draw a box up to here, and I wouldn't ignore that 41.30, right? I would play this range here as a rejection, right? And they could tap all the way up to 41.30, 125. That's that POC as well. So I'll definitely watch this for a short entry if they decide to push, and that would match kind of the PD value area low of today, right? And they have a decent size shelf here. So if they spike here, that's great. They have a VPOC now on the top side as well. 41, 44, and then we'll take a look at the zone altogether. But if you guys look at this, what was the intention of the market today? Did the market want to go down? I would say yes. The intention, the market was moving down. Indication was that we wanted to go down, right? So far following, does the volume agree that with that, you know, you have the wick and then you have the sell off? So there's an increase in volume as you're pushing down, right? So that answers that question. What about the value areas? What do you guys see on the value areas between the 2 days here?
We
Prior
had a
day was
wider
highly
spread
compressed.
today.
It was a wider spread today. What about the spread
Engulfing.
between this one and this one? That's correct. It's a overlapping, engulfing value area. What does that tell you?
They're finding more value.
Be a distribution happening.
There's a little bit more willingness to play the levels. There's more buyers and sellers in this area. They're pretty happy facilitating trade there in auction. If you look at the difference between this, this one here is pretty tight just because we were anticipating this move today. And this one here was shit because it was open for an hour. So you got to ignore these two. But now if you look at the VAs between these days, would you guys say that this day value area is much different than this one? Not really. We're still in the same concept of the value. We're finding value by here. We're making lower low. We made a higher high. And what happened on the higher high?
Right.
Dumpster, you're on the right track when you were talking about. So let's see what you think. What happened once you explore the price? Price discovery happens. We broke the previous day high here, right? And then what happened? I mean, look at this.
You didn't want to auction higher.
No, but there was no buyers, guys. There was no buyers here. And if you guys turn on your TPOs, if you guys, well, you don't have it yet, they're still being worked a little bit. You will see that this is literally all single prints here. Every one of these was a single print on profile. If you have toss, you can check it. This was all single prints here. It was a selling tail. That means, and it's pretty much the same message I've been telling you guys. And if I'm lying or misstating, tell me. I said they're increasing this price. They get it to their buddies at the level, and then their friends are like, hey, sell. And it was pretty much what I told one of the guys that works with me. I was like, dude, you might want to cut some shares today. He's like, nah, man, we're going double. I'm like, okay. 10 minutes later, he's like, dude, like, I'm down a lot. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, sorry. You're an idiot.
Tell him average down.
Well, he can never. I sold a lot of my shares that I was vested in the company today. They're going to be in the blackout period soon. But he's like, nah, man, you're good. I'm like, cool. And the same concept is here. They're driving the price. They're creating liquidity for big boys to get out. And there was a lot of hedge funds people that, you know, they talk on these, you know, TV shows, and they're like, yeah, if once SPX arrives at 4150, 4200, we'll be net sellers. And of course, that could be playing games or whatever. But hey, it seems like somebody's selling here. Would I say that this is, you know, true selling and reversal? I don't think so, right? Because that's where we have to look at this longer picture here, right? If we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm gonna skip this one, 6, 7, 8 days so far. We haven't really made a higher high. I mean, here you know, they did it professionally on liquidity. They swept this liquidity on this side here, and that was beautiful, right? They came here and they literally dumped from it. Now, you know, they haven't swept this liquidity, and there's a failed auction here. I don't know if can you guys see it because of this little line? There's a failed auction. They're going to be coming back here. They're going to fix this. They got to repair this, right? And then I don't know if I thought I had another one. I think there's one here, I believe, yeah, at 4032, which is matches the 4042 VPOC as well. So now, and I'm just reiterating and redrawing this because some of you guys are new, so you understand. Whenever you're consolidating, and this is also in PowerPoint, whenever you're consolidating, it's not a bad idea to go and take that consolidation and draw the FVP, right? And if you guys look here, I'm going to hide the dailies. Did the level shift a lot today? Level here?
No.
No.
Not at all. So if the level, think about this. We talked about the averages and grades, right? I grew up when the grades were from 1 to 5, meaning 1 is F, 5 is an A. If I got a lot of 5s, shouldn't this, and volume weighted, shouldn't this increase a little bit if I spike far away from it? If I got a bunch of 3s and then I got a 5 and a 5, shouldn't this shift? If I'm buying at higher prices, shouldn't the POC also start shifting a little bit?
Yeah, if you have enough volume to pull it.
Oh, if you have enough volume. So it tells me, you know, immediately that this day on the upside was not very strong. So it didn't carry a lot of weight today on the upside. So I would say, you know, if they give us another retest here on, let's say 4130, and you have a nice little node here now. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make this a little bigger so you guys can put it. You guys see this node now here? And I don't know who doesn't use this, but this helps me during the day. I will increase this to like 155. And what happens is I'm able to see where am I in terms of the price action on actual nodes. If I see that there's space here, well, I know, you know, they're entering skinny belly, or if it's a shelf, a bounce, or a rejection, I'm able to kind of look without scrolling too much far left and right. I don't know if you guys like that or not, but to me, it helps me a lot.
What's your transparency level?
On this one, see, this one is on the gray is 85 on the bottom, and then on this one is 18. But I picked this weird color here.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, so I would definitely watch this for now. And then what you do is whenever you're consolidating, you want to know where are the odds that they're going to reject and where they're going to bounce, right? So, and I think I've covered this to death, but that's fine. I'll repeat it again just in case you're new. And Rollout was, I guess, studying last night all night to figure that out. So let's see here what I can do actually to make this a little bit easier in my eyes is do this. Okay, And now if we change this to 95. Do you guys remember my message about being long up here? You guys recall it? I don't. What did I say about being long in this area?
You mentioned about going over 185 would be long, but if it doesn't make it to 4185,
It was
it's
my
going
long
down.
level 83 right here. It was long. But what did I say in between? Would I go long here? Do you guys recall that? Was I interested in long?
No.
I said no, I have zero interest being long. And here's where we hit. So we peaked above the 3 sig, and then what do you see happen? Boop. Immediate pushback. You lost the 2 sig. They failed even to go in between. So if I wanted to find the half of this space in between, should be somewhere around here, which is 52, which also matched that POC that we had right here, which was a point away. Then you had the 55 right here. 55.25 was a 50% fib from the all-time high to October low. And then you had the PDH as well. So do you guys understand why my conviction was pretty high on those puts? 41, I was down, guys. I mean, the contracts hit very low from my entry. My average was like in 3s. But honestly, I did not panic. I was willing to accept the loss, but I was also pretty comfortable knowing what the levels were and how they might play it, and probabilities worked out in my favor in terms of setup. But does everybody understand now the sig, the point of it? When you touch the third sigma, you lost the POC. There's a chance that they can push this to 41.30, maybe peak a little bit above, but to the 36 level, like somewhere around here. And then if they do, the target is, if they break, from here to the first sig and so on, I would not look to short here until they give you a break and a retest. You don't really want to, you don't want to be the first one doing the price discovery to the bottom. Does that make sense? Just like I said, I'm not going to be the price discovery on the upside. I'm not going to do the price discovery by myself here. I need people from Twitter to do that. I have no interest in doing it myself. Okay. Any questions on SIGs or standard deviations?
I had a question just on this chart because I was trying to do this, but I was coming up with different numbers. You have this starting on a particular day or time or?
Yeah, particular date. So if you look at the SVPs, I'll let the SVPs kind of dictate. I'm including from March 30th onwards. I'm including the day. Should I include this whole day? It's subjective, right? It has lower low. I could include only from this start onwards or from here onwards, like from this level, because that level is respected. But I don't think this volume here, if you look on the bottom, I'm really not. It's a tiny little shelf. It doesn't do shit.
Okay, so you took the whole day. That kind of answers my question because I was trying to do the same thing, but I was just trying to grab the area, that reference. So I think I was getting less of the day.
Yeah, you can. I would grab the whole day.
And I got different numbers,
see,
so okay.
And they're rejecting. And now, if you look, this is pretty much the range that we've been in. And now, if I look below this, right, this was our previous range that we broke out of. And you guys should remember this from last time, right? I think it was February 16th. It was right here where we started last time. You guys recall that?
Mm-hmm.
It was the range that we did from here. And we used to do it till like here, but now since this is a new range, this is what you would be targeting. Let's not extend it. This is the range now that you would have right here. And look where it starts. This one starts at 40.68. Right here is the value area high. So there's a little space in between here where it can really, just flush from here to here, because there's nothing there. We are outside of the VA here, outside of VA here. It could potentially bounce here to 40.68. If we get inside and we, fail to reclaim it, fail to hold this PD or value area before previous value, then there's high odds that you're going to be going to the sigma here. And this is just simple. Opposite values always work. They're going to attract. Remember, they don't have any inventory here. If they don't have inventory, they have to find inventory, but they're not going to buy here, guys. I doubt that they're going to find value here. They're going to look to find value here. And then extreme values, the unfair price would be here. And I usually put these like a different name. Like M indicates longer periods for myself. You can make whatever you want. There's no rule. I just put an M because I can remember it.
Roman numerals.
Sure. How's your new job?
It's a mess. I like it.
What you said about the last one?
Yeah, but that was not going to change. This one I actually get to do things. It's awesome.
Nice. So you're the big boss?
Not the big boss, but I'm a much bigger boss.
Money maker. Dumpster. Can you hire all of us and give us like a really good salary?
No, we don't pay people here.
Oh, that's great.
I don't work in your industry.
Oh, come on. I'll work with people like yourself.
They work
don't
for
like
you.
Yeah, I don't like them. I fucking hate you guys. Yeah, we're in a shit show here. What we're trying to do as a company. We want to split companies, but we don't want to increase any SaaS infrastructure costs or for the other company. We think that somebody's going to offer it to us for free. Okay. So now, does this make sense? We're inside this value. It's kind of looking like a distribution. It's almost like identical to what happened here. Look, we accumulated, we popped, we accumulated, and then we dragged. And you see that we went to the bottom. We actually went to the POC of this area. And if you guys just look at this cluster here, there's a POC somewhere in there that's going to be, I would say, pretty interesting here, somewhere in this range. And we're going to not extend this guy. So right here at the 39.50 would be a good target. I would consider going long at this level first. I think 4,000, just because our retail friends are going to be there at this level. They're probably going to try to bounce it from this level, and I don't blame them. If you guys look at this cluster here that they created before popping, so 411, something that they will probably go after in this range, plus minus 5. So these would be the levels that I'm looking for a bounce right here, somewhere around here. I would I'll make this guy a little bit greenish. And then of course, right here, I would put a nice low zone, but until then, you have nothing here. This is just look at the structure from here to the top. I'll grab this to the top. So you have POC because of this profile, but honestly, there's not much here, guys. There's really, here's your POC right now. Where are we? We're right there, 41.05. So once you lose this, you have this shelf here. And then remember that 40.80 level I said, if it breaks, high chance we're going to be flushing a little bit. I think that's this one here. So between 40.80, I think, you have this major sigma here on the retest. You fail that, you can catch another 26 points. Below that, you catch another, I would say this is a good range here. This is probably the highest probability trade right here, below this to here, 40 points. Any questions on ES? Is everybody starting to understand a little bit of Sigma?
I have a question.
You're not
So
allowed.
from, oh, sorry.
You're not allowed to ask questions.
If I say please, can I?
Go ahead.
So for the time value aspect of things, especially in congestions like the composite we have right here, how many sessions?
Did we lose you?
Yeah, his mic cut out. Give him a sec.
Hello? I think no, my mic's wires just fucked up. Like from the time value aspect and a congestion, how I know if like certain closes above certain levels favor a bullish bias. What is your take on, or like what's your advice on like
Are you talking about TPO counts?
yeah, sort of. Like I know when we close above certain levels it favors bulls, especially in congestion, and the time value aspect I just wanted to
You can
know.
translate that to the CPOC. And that's why
Okay.
I usually draw this level. If a lot of volume was spent at a level, I would say that also equals most of the time. I wouldn't say all the time, but also translates to the most time spent at that level. If I just quickly check, look at this area here, 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 here. So a lot of time price spent there. Anytime the price went away from it, look where it came back. Went, came back, consolidated. Dropped, came back, consolidated for a long period, popped, consolidated. So these moves were quick, means that not a lot of time was spent on the bottom, means the value was not fair, and they quickly drove the price to. And this is all, whenever the price bounces quickly from a price, like, let's take a look at a long P shape somewhere here. The reason why this price went up is because they did not find any value, and it was just a lot of aggressive market orders pushing it up. Then you got to the POC, some profit taking, and this definitely looked a little bit weaker than other normal profiles, but they dipped it really low. But time spent in an imbalance is much shorter than time spent when you're imbalanced. So if I'm in balance for 8 days and POC is telling me you're spending a lot of time, I would say TPO most likely is going to be here. And I think somebody's actually working on TPO. That's VRVP here. That's what they said. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, let's check. And I don't know what this is grabbing, if this is the profile, but you would see the TPO in this range here. I don't know what it's showing. I can't trust it much. But I would say TPO is most likely going to be here. And then if you count the TPO counts, right, time spent above and then time spent below, if it's telling you that you're spending a lot more time above a key level, like let's say the POC, like a market profile POC, well, that's telling you that they have a lot more interest in the price being higher. If you look at volume profile, are we spending a lot of time at the top levels or bottom levels?
Bottom, below the composite POC.
Yeah.
Most of the
So what does
value
that tell you?
that most of the activity is below it, so it's probably leaning towards a move to the downside.
They're more bearish. They're not finding a lot of value here. They're not spending a lot of volume. Here, it's quick. It's basically, your strong highs as you know it, right? They come here and poof, come, reject, and then look at the, how much they're spending here. A lot of time is being spent here. So if I was to grab from here and just ignore this POC here, come to the, again, 4130s here. So that 4130 is fairly important, right? It's your pivot point for the upside and downside. Once you break it in a retest, and it's the same thing that we had, if you guys recall. Do you guys recall the 3988 level at all? Anyone? No? Maybe. I have a pretty good memory with the levels. 3988 was fairly important level, before we broke out to the current value that we are in. Like here, that was a fairly big level in this area here. You guys recall that? Now it's, I guess, a little bit, it's shifted by a point. 89.
Q1 POC?
Well, it probably is, right? But it's 39.89. It's shifted by a point or so. But this is a really, really big level here. We said once you break it in a retest, you're gonna have a major run, and look what they did. They had a major run, and they literally popped it. And now, if you look at the sigmas, even from this value here that we are in, just this value area here, I mean, let's just pick a 95. Look at the 95. It's the 41.38. They popped it, and the third sigma is just where we were a moment ago, right at 41.51, and we dumped from there. So you have bigger picture, smaller picture, and now I would say if you lose this sigma here at 40.68, your doors are really, really open to hit this right here, and it would be fairly quick. I would say you're gonna lose this. Most likely, you lose 80 points here within, 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, we're still in balance on the yearly, so not much changed. Okay, does that answer your question, Shorty?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I have one more question. Like, if say we were to break out, just higher, how many days would you give it to validate the breakout in search of new value? I guess you'd also.
Day to day?
Yeah, like if we broke out higher, like above 4,200, I guess. How many days would you give of price action and
I don't
volume?
care about the days necessarily.
You know?
I care
Okay.
about the price and acceptance levels where it goes, right? If that day, like we had, I don't know if you guys recall, but like, where was that day? Like this day here, I remember that night I said there's a little bit of warning message here. I don't know if you guys recall. I don't like that the price went higher, the value stayed lower. And if you had a break above, 41.83, let's say this is my go long level, I would want the value, do you want the value to chase the price or price to chase value as you're going up?
You want price to chase value?
Do you?
I thought that's how price chased value, but for acceptance, you want value to chase price, right?
Yeah, I want the value to chase the price. I want the price to find a new value. If the opposite is true, that's not right. I mean, here, it just does not add up. From when you look at the days that we had here, this does not add up. They made it seem like the value is chasing the price, but it didn't even break the previous day value at all. If you're gonna do that, at least move this value above here, so we know that it's a little bit more realistic, right? And that's why, when you look at it, you ask me, hey, how many days? It doesn't matter how many days. This day was indicating to me personally that there was a warning sign, right? And then, of course, they did what we anticipated them to do, that they're gonna pump this to the extremes, right? Unfair value, and then they dumped it, and nothing really changed in terms of level, just small shifts. The POC, I would say, here it barely shifted, if at all. I'm on 30 minutes. I probably should be on 65 minutes on 8 days here. Okay. Yeah, I probably would use 65 minutes here just to catch more data. I would say this is the new level that I'm kind of looking at. And then here you have 41.32 is also the low of the structure with this little weird spring that popped higher. And here's your attempt to bounce here, 65 minutes. So any questions on this? On DS? Do you guys need help identifying how you would play it?
I have a question. So if we look at it like you you're taking this
Let
profile
me
since
ask
like
you a question. Did you enjoy watching Barcelona today in Champions League?
I knew you were gonna say something about that.
I just want to make sure you watch the game.
But for me, like visually, since like April basically or like March 30th, we've kind of been in this like box. Would you expect to bounce at the second sigma at 40? What is it, 99?
Yeah, I would expect to hear. Yeah, they're gonna most likely bounce it, and if they give you a higher bounce here,
Mm-hmm.
if they hold this first sigma, what does that tell you guys?
It's going lower.
Say it again.
It's going lower.
If they bounce the first sigma, you think it's gonna go lower?
The bulls are more aggressive at that point.
Oh, I thought you said they. Oh, okay. Misunderstood though.
If they bounce here and the bulls are a little bit more aggressive, they're itching to get a trade in. Remember, the only way the price moves up on a tape is how? Why does the price move up?
There's more buyers than sellers.
No.
You just go at the higher asks.
Aggressive buyers.
There's more market orders, aggressive buyers absorbing the limit orders resting. So here seems like, of course, just think about the concept, right? Who wants to sell here? If you had an opportunity to sell here or here, where do you want to sell the peanut butter? From the seller perspective. Most likely, I mean, if you're a smart businessman, you want to sell the peanut butter here. He has no value selling peanut butter here if he bought it here, right? So they're gonna probably maybe if they want to continue the trend, we should not break this POC here that we had. But this thing keeps messing with me. 65 minutes, shift 7 points. I'll keep it here at 65 minutes. If they claim this POC, let's say tomorrow, then you're careful on shorts again. If they come here, this is a good attempt to short it first. And I would put, if you're shorting this, let's say 49, 39, 40, you can put a stop loss above this sigma here and see how we react. You can mark your previous day sessions and make sure that you don't have anything like 80% rule here. This one is at 41.60. Current POC is pretty much lined up here at 41. So if you take this short here, you could either take it here or wait a little bit till it gets to this POC. I personally would probably get in here. And I'll wait for that for retest and see. And then you have the value area low at 41.29. I would say this level is decent. Do you guys recall that I mentioned once it breaks this, it was 41.28 level that I mentioned. Once it breaks, it really has an opportunity to accelerate a little bit. And that's pretty much what happened. But I wanted them to tap this, but it seems like they stopped a little bit short. Yeah, a few points. On the long side, you have to establish that you want this to be, you want to come back here and you want to accept this value. Because right now, what is happening to the previous day value? Are we accepting or rejecting right now?
Rejecting.
Yeah, we're rejecting this value. So for me to play long, I don't want to be the first idiot doing a price discovery here, guys. I have no interest being the first guy going inside here. You need them to establish value here, and that's why you have that, remember, 80% rule. Once they do that, then you could potentially drive this. Remember, odds become in your favor now. If they want to do this 80% rule to the stop here, that's okay. I would just be a little bit more cautious on profit taking, right? Just because of the aggressiveness that we had here, the volume on the daily picked up, bearish engulfing value area, all those things matter. And I would just caution a little bit off of the sell-off. And then if I grab my fib here, it should probably fall somewhere, yep, right there at 41.45. So I'll be really careful of this level. If you're not comfortable playing this long, a little bit riskier, then you break this, you can catch a nice little run. What is that, 13 points run here, and that's pretty good. Makes sense? So you can take this scenario. If you're really risk averse, you wait this for longs. I'm giving you long scenarios. This is one here, second one here. What about short? Who wants to give me the short scenarios?
Value area low from prior day is a short.
Yeah, you can take a short here, and then you could definitely drive it either to this PDL here, which is 14 points. I honestly think they're going to tap this VPOC here. So long here, short here. Ideal short, from value area would be they get in and they give you something like this. They try to get in, they can't hold. Most of the time, just so you know, you will not get a retest all the time when they slice through it back. So this here might not happen sometimes, or a lot of times I will enter on a break again off of this one. And same thing happens on POC sometimes. If they do this and they fail, I like taking the short. You can also wait, and then you can drive it to the value area low first. So this will be a good short here. This will be a good short. This is a good short. Between these levels here, you get really, really like. Remember, I didn't like trading long between sigmas here. Do you guys really think I'll like shorting between these two sigmas?
No, it's gonna be miserable.
No, I don't do that. You guys are welcome to provide liquidity for them, but I'm not going to do that. You guys can, miss these points here. It's okay to miss some points. If you want to play, if you're really aggressive and you're itching for a trade, once you lose this level here, you could play this, but it's not worth it. 6 points. And you're shaking here because you don't know when the hell a large order might come in from the second and literally kill you on your trade. So you really don't have it. And if we hold here, so now the question becomes from the structure of the market. Let's say we hold here, right? How would you guys know when to go long here? Here we dumped the first sigma. I would say we tapped this area perfectly. How would you know to go long? When do we trust the long?
When it rejects values lower from the first sigma?
Just think about, you don't have any of these sigmas here. I don't want to hide them. Right? See if I hide them. How would I know to go long here now on this chart on 15 minutes?
I would like to look for a strong low if we could get that. And if it was a case where we didn't get a strong low, I'd like to see some volume start to pick up and we have like higher lows, maybe a little consolidation before.
Where's your structure? Where's the breakout structure to the upside?
The pin bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the are you talking about this one?
Yeah.
Yep. You have to. Okay, this is gonna happen. I hate this thing. I don't know why it does. I can't do two versions.
You got to use the object tree in order to hide lines that you've drawn without losing them.
So now, yeah, that's good. Better than my go through. So now, if we want to break this, and for you to start shifting and seeing let's say, a potential shift, because right now you have a higher high, I would say lower high here. They created a bunch of what we call them equal highs, right? These are just called equal highs and normal structure of the market. Then they had a bunch of equal lows here. Do you guys see that at 41, 42? They created a bunch of there. So now they couldn't break the top. Of course, they sliced the bottom. So if they come back for this retest here, it's actually really, really good short. I would say 41, 45. But here, if they break the bottom structure and they change the character, meaning now we're making higher highs, and obviously we'll make higher lows, that's telling you, hey, we might be reversing this. So the way you do it is, if this candle, if you just get a wick here, that's no bueno. That's not good. If you get a wick here, you can't go long, guys. You need to get a full candle, I would say, if you're using 15-minute structure here, you need a full 15-minute candle close above this. Then what you look for in this area, does anyone have an idea where to get in? How would you get in if, let's say we get a candle here that's closing like this. Let's not extend. Imagine this is a green candle here. Looks like that. Look at that green candle. If it closes like this, how would you find your buy entry?
50% of the candle.
Good.
Resistance turns support.
Great, like the breakout structure retest. Okay, what else? Anyone else?
I'd say if they could climb above it, to safety, and then they get like a nice retest.
Yeah, but how would you find the entry? Listen to the question.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
How would you find the entry? This is the candle. This is, let's say they give you, I'll give you a better scenario. I'll take my drawing skills to a next level. They're making me do this. Okay. And then they, here's a scenario. How would you find a level to go long? This is a good long level when you have a candle breaking the structure, not a wick. How would you find a retest? Where do you go long?
I look for the value area high of that move. Once it gets on top of that, a break of the PLC with momentum and volume. Yeah.
I like that one. Anyone else?
You do the value low after that candle.
This one here, value area low?
No, the last candle you drew.
Okay. This one?
You could wait for a value low down retest, or you could, I would take 50% of that candle as long as it was resided above the
Could you not just look at volume,
base.
guys, and look for the shelf where it could come back the largest node and trade it from there?
Yeah, I didn't see any volume as an option.
Well, stop. I drew them overlapping to tell you that, right? I overdrew this one here because if there's a congestion and you pop from the congestion, what is this then? This is our
Becomes a shelf. Yeah.
It becomes a shelf. I did that on purpose. This is where most likely you'll get a bounce, and this is the one where you're really, really patient. You get a bounce here, and you take that long. But just remember, if you're breaking structures, if it does a little wick like this, you know, something like this, where I don't know why TradingView does this weird shit. Okay, let's say this is the candle here, and the wick part of it grabs it. That's only a liquidity grab. There's no interest in buyers going higher. That was just them basically creating market liquidity. And of course, if you guys just put this down, what happened here on 3 Sigma?
The exact same thing you drew. They grabbed the liquidity above.
They had no interest, guys. As soon as I saw that, did I post a raccoon?
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I posted a raccoon. I said, this has no business. They have no, I don't know how they're going to facilitate auction higher. As soon as I saw this 15-minute close here, I was like, haha, you guys are funny. There was no business for them trying to push this higher here. And then this was a good bounce here. This was an unexpected bounce for me, actually. I don't know where they pulled this one from. The 21. I didn't have anything at this level. I don't know if anyone else did. I had nothing at this level here. Besides, if you take the fibs, draw from here to here, then you'll have something. But at that time, at the time of the game, I did not. Show you what I mean by that. Here we had the 70, but I did not have it at the time of the trade to take this line, nor would I have trusted this volume to drive this price much higher, this many points, right? It just didn't look like it was real at the moment. So I was like, okay, you know what? No long option. I'm looking for short. Does this make sense? I want you guys to make sure. Is there anyone confused on like breakup structures and change of characters? Which one is good? Which one's bad? Do I need to give you guys an example in PowerPoints?
I'd like an example. That's
Yes,
kind of where I
please.
struggle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll post them. I'll probably post them Friday. I gotta help my wife. My wife's pregnant. I don't know if you guys know, but yeah, she's getting to a point where I gotta help her a little bit more. So I'll make them Friday. Let's do a class Sunday. We'll focus a little bit more on naked charting. When I first started the Discord, I really emphasized naked trading for a lot of you guys. Meaning, what I mean by naked trading, I can trade off of this. Most of the time, I'll probably tell you the POC of these without these levels or without volume profile. I think I could tell you approximately within 4 points where it's going to bounce or not. And once you learn the behavior of the stock market and these patterns that they play and the value area lows, it really becomes about value and the reward that they're trading. And I think, you know, just the fact today, you should start getting a little bit more confident seeing these things. And hopefully you guys are picking up. And if you're new, I mean, and this is still sounds like a, you know, Spanish to you, it will sound Spanish for some time. It's not like you came to calculus class and you understood it all the first day. If this was easy to understand, do you think anyone would be employed? Probably not. You know, if you can make, you know, a couple of $1,000s a week trading and clicking, right? I don't think we would have any employment in the United States. Everybody would do it, right? Not everybody's cut out for it, but you should not give up just because you failed once or twice. A lot of you guys, you know, I just reiterate, stop chasing your losses. A lot of you guys are still dreaming about the losses you had. Forget about it. It's gone. The sooner you forget about it, the sooner you accept the fact that you got to learn something and apply it and gain confidence in it, the much easier it becomes. And I know you know, catching rockets not on voice, but I met him 2 years ago, and I don't know if Twitter has expiration on messages. I'll check. And he literally was like, "Please help me become profitable trader." And I was like, "Where the hell did you find me, dude? Like, how did you find my name? Like, I wasn't even into Twitter followers, Discords." I was like, how did you find me?" He's like, "I heard from this person, this person, this person." And then I was like, okay. We talked, and I thought he was scamming me for a long period of time. And I was like, "Dude, just fuck off. Like, leave me alone." And then he's like, "No," you know, he opened up a little bit. We chatted, and then we spent more time together. I was like, "Oh man, you seem like a real nice dude." And we established a lot of trust, and then he started really, really learning. He had a lot of, how do I say it? He had a lot of good periods of trading, and then like every one of you, I would say, and myself, you go from good periods of trading, and then you get overconfident, you get cocky, and then you go and oversize in the trade, and then what happens? You lose it all. And that would kill, you know, anyone, not Drew, myself. That kills most of people's confidence. But if you do it right, if you start building it piece by piece, like Astro asked me, should I increase my positions? Well, you have no reason to increase unless you need the money. Still focus on the process. Make sure your process and the probability and the edge that you have is really strong. Because as soon as you get a little cocky, the market comes back and tells you, "Sit down, let me show you a trick," and then you lose half that account. The goal is really to compound, guys. And you know, like my kids' accounts, my bigger accounts, if I'm up 2-3% per day, guys, that's, to me, that's success. That's a lot of money, right? And I showed you, I posted earlier on some of my accounts, you know, the 1 year returns. And I know it sounds, you know, fucking crazy, but I take profits. Like I don't dream of hitting 7,000% or converting $100,000 to 10 million. I compound my accounts all around. You know, and I sometimes like buy SQQ shares. I know some of you guys bought up this morning. And what a fucking buy that is. And if you make $3, let's say you put 100K into SQQ, if you take a trade like that, I mean, shit. If you can catch something at like 29.32, like this one here, that tends to bounce right off the Sigma. If I can catch this to 33.60, I mean, that's $4 on $100,000. That's fucking good money, guys. I will sell. I don't give a shit if it goes to 45. If you know your system, I can hit that trade again for $4 and again and again and again. Does this message ring a bell to anyone? Like that? Because a lot of you guys, and there's one person that I'm actually mentoring, he doesn't know how to get out. He's like, "Man, I lost the shares and it went over my stop loss." Well, why? I mean, if I lost this trade, you know, for me, the stop loss on these was around 27.5. If I was to lose that, that's okay. Then I know what how do I gotta structure my position next time. I don't have to get it all in one trade back. That's not my goal. my goal is to find a setup that I have a high probability to make my standard, right? If I'm shooting for $4 or $5, that's all I'm gonna do. And if I can do this thing, let's say I put in $100,000 and hit $4 a share 10 times a year, that's good money. That's probably somebody's salary in this Discord. Right? So think longer picture, guys. It's not about one trade. It really is not about one trade. If you read Trading in the Zone, it's about a series of trades and getting into that, I would say, zone and making, smart choices and trading really in the flow with the market. Okay. So, okay, let me turn on clouds. Somebody wants to turn on clouds. Any questions what I just covered? Or you guys want me to take a screenshot with these lines before I delete them, or you guys don't care for it?
Screenshot.
Take
I think
it
it
or
would,
no?
Mhm.
Yes.
I think it would definitely also be helpful, like when you kind of like drew the candles and you showed the kind of the shelf. That I think that would be helpful, definitely for other people. I understand it now, like after seeing it, but yeah, I think that's also really cool for a PowerPoint.
Are you talking about the break of structures stuff?
Kind of like when you were asking like where would you go long, and then you drew the
Oh, that candle? Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
expect me to draw too many candles like that here.
Yeah, that was really cool though.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but yeah, this is a horrible way. So let's see.
Can you do NQ as well?
Yeah, NQ should be weaker, right? Where's our NQ hitting? Okay. Yeah, NQ is in trouble. Delete this real quick. Go back to regular candles. Let me turn on 30 minutes. Same process, same behavior. Right. I'm gonna let somebody tell me what to do. Roll out. Tell me what to do. Want to rebuild the chart. Same to ES. Roll out of sleep. See the dumpster. Who wants to take a opportunity to draw?
Draw a fixed volume profile in the congestion.
Tell me the dates you see them from where to where.
Start. So is that April 3rd or 4th? 3rd? April 3rd? No, left. That, yeah, right there. Start right there. And then till right now, yeah.
Okay.
And then I would mark all the sigmas 1, 2, and 3.
You should notice something immediately.
Similar to ES.
Oh, it's different than ES.
PD
Similar.
POC is the same as the consolidation POC.
Yeah, that's good. But what else?
Already
I think-
broken the sigma.
I think the yeah.
There you go. This one already sliced through the second sigma, right? I mean, didn't we talk about the weakness that they had already? I don't know if you guys recall, but they were weaker than ES. I don't know if I think I've covered that last time. NQ looked a lot weaker than ES. You guys remember that? From the last watch list, I believe. It said that.
Yep. Sorry, I thought it was muted.
So here's this one. Here's our first sig. Okay, and I would say that's our mean, our POC here. Okay. And now if you compare this to ES, I'll let you do that as well. So take a better screenshot for you. Who wants to compare between ES and what we're seeing here?
I mean, I can. I thought. Okay. Can I see the other chart real quick? The screenshot. I think the POC, the fixed volume profile POC, is lower on NQ as well, just based on the price action. Most of the price action is also lower. Could you go back to NQ and look at the session volume profile? All the volume profiles.
My baby's like being here.
Almost diversion, man.
Daddy printed this form for you. You need to go to Lawson tomorrow.
So it's more actually. They're wider. The value area highs and the value area lows within the sessions are a lot wider, I would say.
Pay attention between. I'm gonna give you a quick second to pay attention to value area parity today on NQ. Okay. Now pay attention to ES. What's the difference?
That's a D-shaped on the prior day. On NQ is a B-shaped, lowercase b.
High.
Here we made a higher high on the value area high, and we also made a value area low, lower low, correct?
Yes.
And then on NQ, did the value area high make a higher high?
I would say it's no, lower low, barely, but yeah, it's about the same.
Low. It's overlapping on the downside. So NQ is more bearish than ES right now. And hence, look what happened. They already reached the 3 sigma here, the third standard deviation. They already reached it. So if we see some pops tomorrow, they're able to reclaim second. And let's say, I posted something not too long ago. If the market doesn't make strong higher highs on news, you can definitely expect a dump in the opposite direction. I don't know if you guys recall that. We didn't really make higher highs here, right? So they dumped it. Now it's very, very important. I would say that they hold this 29.11 here. Like if they can't hold this, I'll give you an idea. They can't hold this. Let's take a look. Where can they go? Is there anything holding them until they get to this level here?
Nope.
Guys, this is your money maker. It's your account doubling opportunity here. They're just gonna most likely flush that. And then if you look at this, there's some, there's some accumulation here with value area lows and volume also descending. So if I really wanted to look at this session, let's say I grab it from here to here. I want to extend this one. I would know that there's this chance of this level here bouncing. And that's just, nothing pre-falls 200-300 points. Of course it can. But from profit standpoint, if I get in short here, I would look for like this happens quick. Then if we lose this, retest all the way to here, right? And then there's a little bit of congestion there, another repug there, another repug here, and then a congestion that we haven't revisited here on NQ. So this whole area here hasn't been revisited at 12, I would say 12,000. So now you have major levels here, and if you look at the profile, I would say, these VPOCs here are not going to hold much value because this is a pretty massive consolidation here. We're talking about, almost a month here. So they lose this level. The odds of this one hitting here, I know it's crazy, 700 points, are really high, super high. So good job on the analysis. I would say you're spot on. Just make sure you pay attention to the value areas. You know, are they overlapping upside, downside? Are they inside the previous value? Are they bearish engulfing or bullish engulfing? Today we had, I would say on NQ, like you nailed it, we had a D shape, but notice that we also closed where? Outside the VA, right? In a D shape. What does that tell you when you have a D shape and you close outside? Does anyone remember?
Value isn't chasing price.
Value isn't accepted at that level yet.
Okay. Anything else?
It needs to be confirmed.
Anything else?
Like you meant D shape or B shape?
D shape. Here goes the slide.
If you close outside the value area, isn't it bullish?
Oh, where? If you close above POC, yes. Close outside of on a neutral day, that means more people were willing to bid the price higher, and they might know something that the market is anticipating, and they might know the outcome or whatever their reason, but they're on the extreme side of bullish on a D shape. If you close below the POC and outside the value area low, it's leaning more bearish. Is that what it says here? I see this.
Yep.
I was trying to understand whether or not it was above or below inside the value area. I think
If
that
the
makes sense.
close is at the high end on the neutral day, it shows the buyers now the time
Buyers.
frame have shown. So now, you know, you go back to here, there's a high probability, I would say, if we break this, you know, let's say sigma here, and we already broke below the PDL. You guys see that, right? We already attempted this supply here. Now you break this here, PDL, start the run to 12,000. Sounds crazy, yeah, but I promise it's gonna happen fairly fast. April, June. By June, we should be at 12,000. If you read this and you don't understand every slide in detail, I suggest you read it. And every one of these, you should be able to visualize what I'm kind of telling you. I didn't put this so you just read it and go away from it. I put this so you guys remember. This is the one thing that really aggravates me. If you know, I'm picky on some stuff. This is the only thing I'm picky on. And ascending triangles. There's never more buyers and sellers. I highlighted things for you guys to emphasize on. I put these things so you guys understand it, right? And how you're gonna put some of this together. It's, you know, it's what type of learner you are and how do you structure stuff on your side. I can show you the structure, and I show you the structure every day how I do it. Doesn't mean you have to, right?
Do
But
EMAs not bother you as well?
I never use EMAs. I hate EMAs. I hate any lagging indicator that you don't see on my chart. I don't think I don't know how you trade with a bunch of fucking lines on your chart that you don't know what they are. Well, maybe they do. I don't. Okay. Okay, I'll work on, probably tomorrow night, I'll work on the breakout structure examples and the change of character, and then maybe we just do a naked trading class for you guys on Sunday, so that way you guys can just take everything off and learn the kind of the behavior of the market and understand the supply and demand zone just directly from the chart itself. I think some of you guys might find that beneficial. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really quick, Jam,
Any
I
other
just
questions?
unmuted you. Make sure you
I'm
mute
sorry,
yourself.
you want the ES clouds. I forgot.
Could we do it maybe on toss?
Yeah, let me bring it up.
Jam, I just unmuted you. Mute yourself.
Who are you talking to?
Thank you, sir.
Jam.
Jam. Just mute him back.
All right, that was effective.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
I clicked this damn, I guess this is a button that can't, did I cancel sharing for a moment or not?
No.
I still see it.
Oh, I hit a little, it's called deafen button by accident, and it just kills everything I'm doing on Discord. Like, I can't hear you guys. I don't know if you guys hear me.
Deafen will deafen you. That's all it will do.
Alright. Good to know. Oh, Roku's about to fucking dump. I missed that one. Did you guys see Roku? Drew.
What's
Are you gonna chart stocks? Are you gonna chart different companies, or is it just gonna be clouds tonight?
Well, I was kind of almost done with the ES.
Okay.
Cube.
Yeah, no problem. I was just curious.
Why'd you say, "Oh, Drew"? What did I do?
And we fucking had Roku. We said that it should not break 66, and look what it did.
Where? I don't see it on your screen. But...
Oh, I'm not. You guys care if I go to 49-inch for a moment? I can't do this.
Sure.
I'll make
Yeah,
it as big as possible. I just can't do the.
Ooh.
Can you guys see it now?
Yep.
Is it big enough?
Yeah.
It hit 66.23.
Dude. Cloud closed right here. Oh my god, this was a money maker. This was a good fucking play, and we had it. We talked about it.
And a 4 hour.
That was a good play there. ES right at the I think 4-hour bottom right now. ES cloud was closed. They were never going to cross that after they failed here. So if they did push to this level, you guys should have been. You guys know that if I see this setup and they're coming to a cloud close, you guys know that's my favorite setup. Most likely you can triple your account based off of this. And you want to check the details, right?
Because I was looking at the clouds and like on 30 minutes, the 4 hours like -1, and then on 4 hours, the 4 hour cloud is like -3.
Do you guys see where we rejected?
Closed 4-hour cloud.
It was a monthly mid. They tapped the monthly mid with the daily top. They couldn't even peak above that. We bounced right off the 4-hour bottom so far. So now look at your free spaces here. And if
Oh, that's beautiful.
Guys, this happens. I'll send you guys a screenshot of this in the write up so you guys have it. This happens super quick. And if you don't believe me, ask Drew. Once you lose this, you're gonna dump 30 points. You lose this, you dump 60. This is where you don't get interested in shorting. This is something I would not look to short right here, right? Any of these congestion areas, I don't short. I don't short in the clouds. I'm not really excited about it, right? Once you lose, let's say 39.64, well, you get a lot more space and they're just gonna slice it. Whatever the reason is. There you go. Excuse me, and then 37, you get 100 points here. Here is just gonna be bullshit trades in between.
Did you post that on your corner?
Yeah,
Or this chart? Okay.
Would you recommend taking like puts a week out when we reach in the open space?
I would play on SPY 2 weeks out because these are massive weekly levels between daily and weekly. So right now we failed to go to the weekly top here at 42.42. We did not complete the cycle up. So if they lose this level, it's gonna accelerate the selling. It's really gonna pick up the selling off the weekly because there was not enough buyers to get it here. That means they're gonna flush from here. these guys are just gonna get out of the way, and they're gonna look to buy here or here.
Shorty, you were gonna get into 380 puts today. Given this, would you just wait for it to break?
I
through
should have
before
gotten in as
here?
soon as we opened, and I did not. No, I mean, I just did not have the right timing personally to get it. But today, as soon as we opened, I should have gotten in the 380 June puts for SPY.
I mean, in this situation, because we're already near the bottom of this cloud, would you wait for it to break through before getting in?
Yes.
Because it could bounce back up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if they bounce it back up, so let me go here. If they bounce it back up, there's that 34 level here as well. It's a I doubt that we're gonna go back to 51.
Uh-huh.
I would think that if they wanted to push this, I would say somewhere in this range, we would have a level for rejection, and that would match. We had 44, 45 first Sigma, and also the prior day or current mile VPOC now, right? On ES is there. And the 2 Sigma was at 41, 40, 41, 39. So this area becomes pretty sticky for shorting right here. You broke, you come back and you continue down, and then, ideally what you could, see happening here is this, and this here. So if you don't want to short this, I would definitely short this. You can catch a nice move here. 30 points on ES, and then of course it speeds up a little bit, 60 points here. I would look for a retest here for longer swings. We will have to see how we react to that CPOC in this area. If they peak above it and fail, then you know what to do. And you see what they did here for past, since when? Since, I don't know when. I hate the dates in this. They've been bouncing in the 4 hours, so this break is going to be massive on ES. And the clouds closed on the top. You guys want NQ as well?
Sure.
Post this. Before I forget. I'll do a write-up. I'm just posting charts so I don't lose them. Oh dear. What do you guys can tell?
Holding on to pro steer line.
Holding on
Like
the
it already broke.
pin thread.
Guys, this is you guys should not miss this tomorrow. Whenever it happens, as soon as we clear this right here, I would say, man, you have a nice drop coming from the clouds. What this means here, guys, there's nothing from, believe it or not, from market makers' perspective. They don't have much levels in between here. They're gonna flush this. If you don't believe me, just look at any time, on the run up here. Did they have much resistance here? They're gonna flush this guy all the way to the bottom. They're gonna bounce here, the daily bottom. I would say 12,659, potentially bounce, lose that, then you go here, 12,000. I do think, what did we say on NQ? I need to get more familiar with NQ levels overall.
054.
Does
We
NQ
spent 12,096, correct? And that would be the weekly mid here, the blue line. That'd be good. And then 11.1 would be the bottom. And I would not look to short anywhere near this. That's a no-no. But right now, all the overhead is above. For them to break this right here, I don't know. I really don't know what would need to happen for them to break 13.4. It would need to be a miracle in the market to break that top right now.
Shorty had a quick question. And do you know if NQ has options like SPX for ES or
NDX?
I was about to ask that.
They're
Yeah.
not really liquid.
Yeah. The spreads are wide, no?
Yeah, they're really, really bad.
If I want to play this stuff, do I just go with QQQs or?
I would go with SQQ, but that's just my preference.
SQQ.
I like SQQ a lot. And here's your these levels, like this level was not updated frequently. It updates every week, so this level here is still correct. You see how well this hits? They gave you a money shot on a daily. They pumped it. They went inside the 4 hours. They came back. They rejected. They have a lot of support here. If by any chance they lose 171, oh dear. On Tesla, this is. I'm
I think we
interested.
should keep an alert for this one.
Yeah, we can set some alerts. Yeah, this one has a really nice opportunity to dump. I wanted to do Apple. I'm interested. Oh, Apple, you're gonna pass. Is anyone in Apple puts by any chance?
I am.
Are you in the 421s or something else?
421 as well as the January ones.
I'm in the inverse Apple shares.
I'm in
And
NVIDIA.
inverse shares.
Yeah. You guys want to see the favorite?
Mm-hmm.
You have to scream, get excited. Watch this. We enter the space. We're going down. 253 probably tomorrow.
This is going to 153. There is no way NQ can go up.
Man, I sold my NVIDIA put today.
Oh, you have no reason to sell this. Oh, maybe Sammy
Well,
told you to buy.
Nah, I did. Thought it. I was committed to it. Yeah,
AMD
but I
loses
just sold
this.
it when it ran.
You guys have $8 here, guys. Make sure you keep that. Watch this one. What do you guys see here? Where are all the lines?
SQQ is ready for liftoff.
Guys, this can, I have a lot in SQQ. I think I have over $100,000 worth right now in SQQ. I mean, and once we break this level here, they're gonna start that takeoff. Hopefully, if I can double that, that'd be great. I wouldn't hold till then, but yeah. Any other stocks you guys want to see while I'm here?
NVIDIA.
We just checked NVIDIA. NVIDIA is ready. It's
Did
gonna
we?
dump tomorrow, $10.
Okay.
You guys should tweet at our friend. King NVIDIA buy. I think it's going to like 160s, 170s would be good.
So SQQ is the inverse?
You want QQQ?
No, SQQ is the inverse?
SQQ is the inverse of QQQ.
Got it.
Yep. So that one would be, if you buy calls in SQQ, you're betting that QQQ is going to dump. But it's cheaper, a lot cheaper to play SQQ.
Leveraged.
Thank you.
It is leveraged. You don't want to hold shares for. I never typically hold shares more. I would say, I don't know. Did we ever hold it this year more than 4 weeks? I don't think so. I don't think we've held SQQ shares more than 4 weeks. So I'm fairly quick on making money on these, just so I don't get decimated by their leverage. Let's see.
Can check
Microsoft.
Netflix.
This one is also prepping for a disaster. Netflix should have really wide areas here coming up. Yep. Yeah. If you lose this, what you see here, and this demand did not take out the, higher high here. Yeah, this is, once you lose this 325, I can post every one of these guys and you'll eventually see how well this fucking works. Here's your bearish money shot on the daily here. They failed, they rejected. They're most likely headed to 309 on Netflix. What else?
Yeah, that'll help.
I think this is ready to go below 100. Anyone love AMC?
Can do crude oil.
Yep. Yeah, it's a little extended. I would definitely short it here. 87. Yeah, you're gonna have a monthly mid with the weekly top. You're not gonna cross this line. I don't care what they do. Unless there's a World War III, then yes. They're not gonna cross that easy. Does this mean Oxy's above 70?
It looks like Kim Jong Un wants a World War III.
God damn it. I did fuck up on this. Remember our buy was a 60 on this? Well, at least for me was, oh, I fucked up on this. I missed this opportunity, but that's okay. We'll come back. Any other ones? Anyone? Nobody wants
UNG.
Google maybe.
Here's your SPY. So 406, you lose this. You go for 100 at 401. Here, you don't trade this. Between these two levels, you do not trade. You let experts from retail take these trades. You lose 398, you catch 6, 390, you don't trade this. And I guess you guys know why I want 380 now.
Yeah.
Bottom half. So, what was the other one? Somebody said, sorry.
UNG. Yes.
I still have shares in this.
I feel it may spike next winter.
Dude, they're gonna do this one for a while. If you can't sit on it and absorb, it's gonna take a long time for this to. But once it does, I mean, you can go from 6 to 30. You know, almost.
Just keep averaging down.
Natural gas. If you think about scarcity of the world, unless I understand it, the more we use shit, the less, the more scarce it's gonna become. Higher demand, less supply. You're looking somewhere top levels, I would say over 31 probably to sell.
The best part is because the overall value of the stock is so cheap, you can always sell the covered calls above your average value just to, average down.
Why not? If you catch this move from 6 to 111 and you have a little bit of money into it, would be pretty good, right? All right, anyone else? Anything?
This is random because you look at Zoom. I'm pitching it short for like a club in my university. Just wanted to see it.
Fundamentally or?
Yeah, fundamentally. I just wanted to see it like.
Below 65, you can short for 5.
Yeah.
Below 57, it starts a flush and it'll find the POC, all-time low POC if it breaks this.
Okay.
It should be below $10.
Yeah, their intrinsic value is around $15. I don't even know
I don't
how
think
they're.
it should be higher than that. I
Yeah.
don't think that's a fair price. If you look at Piton, same shit here. Useless stock, going to 9. What else you guys got?
Are they still even alive?
I don't know. One of my friends just bought their treadmill. He loves it, but it's like $5,000 for a treadmill.
Holy. Wow.
You still have US Steel charted already?
X, yeah. X is good,
Yeah.
but it's not at the price I want. I want it below 20s. I want it here. I wanted at 20s. It was actually like 17. I don't think the US is ready. You don't build when the capital, the cost of capital is expensive. You don't build. I don't know if anyone's FP&A on the call or any modelers, but when your cost of capital is high, usually we consider 15% to be the norm on the cost of capital, but I would say the cost of capital is probably higher than 15% now. I expect this to take a little bit beater,
What's
down.
cost of capital?
How much does it take for me to borrow cash? How much does it cost? Right. Most
5%.
companies, most companies, when they model their return, like your IRRs or NPV or payback periods, we use 15% as a default. It's called WAC rate. So we hold that, and then right now, I'm being asked, when I look at financials, I'm modeling different scenarios to look at IRR, what happens, kind of like a heat map of if we do this, what happens here? How's your EBITDA? How's your cash flow? How's your payback period on certain investments? Those things kind of get into the picture once you start increasing, because the banks right now, they don't have money to offer. So how are you going to build something? You either have to have cash or you go to venture capitalists, and those are sharks. I call them the sharks of they will eat you alive. You do not go to venture capitalists for money. If you have to, you're fucked. Simply, excuse my language, you're going to be screwed. I don't know if you guys watch that Shark Tank, but that's you go over those like Kevin O'Leary, and he's like, yeah, man, I'll give you a deal. Here's for every product you sell, I'll take a royalty at $2 forever.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's like, dude, come on, you're killing the people's cash flow for the rest of their life. And what did you do? Nothing. Right. I mean, it's good for them, but it's just when people are pressed into those situations, like many companies will be. I'm pretty sure like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett are like, they're just super ecstatic at this time right now that we're in. Like they're super excited because there's going to be some good deals on companies, big companies. Because think about it, Salesforce bought. Do you guys remember when they bought Slack for like, I believe it was $40 billion or 30? Let's say
so overpriced.
I remember.
I don't even know what the PE was of Slack, but it was like, I mean, we had a meeting in my company. We're like, what in the world was that? And I mean, the synergies you gain, you're not going to challenge Microsoft with Teams at this point anymore. I don't see anyone challenging them anytime soon. So I don't think you're going to challenge them. So you just dumped a lot of cash, because remember, cash becomes liability at one point, right? For predatory reasons, for a lot of reasons, right? It becomes, I mean, think about the, currency swaps and the tails and the headwinds that companies have if their cash is offshore. A lot of companies did not hedge like Apple did. So their currency headwinds on their reports are really bad. And we read a couple of them when we had their earnings. If you guys recall, a lot of them had more than 6-7%. I mean, but think about it. You have $2 billion sitting, take 7% loss on 2 billion just because you didn't hedge your currency. So those things matter right now. And then, like X is one of my stocks I'm watching, but I just want it cheaper, a lot cheaper. If you guys think about it, I'll give you an idea. Here's your, this was 2022, but now just watch here, COVID, I believe, where it was COVID. What's this?
2020?
I think, I hate this.
March.
This is 2019. So here's COVID. I had some, I sold, I made good money on it. I'm not going to say I didn't. I doubled at some. But think about this run here. 10 times the money.
Shorty, random question. Do you have a list of mutual funds that you like?
I have some, yeah. I use some for my kids, and that's in a PowerPoint that I started putting together for you guys, what I'm doing for the kiddos, yeah.
Oh, any chance you can share the the tickers before this dump happens? Because I need to snatch some up.
You're a couple of months away from the dump for buying mutual funds, but yes, I'll share it.
No, I know that. I want to be ready.
Yeah, I can send it. Yeah.
Right on.
There's
Thanks.
a handful of them that pay dividends. And basically, like if you can, if you don't have kids or if you have young ones, you start putting some money into it monthly. And then I don't buy monthly for the kiddos. I time it, just like we time buying and selling here.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm able to. And I don't really care if I buy NVIDIA, let's say at 100. I don't have a stop loss at like 94 for them, right? I'm not gonna do that. They're younger kids and they can hold. The companies that are good during inflation periods and periods like this, that have, just think about it. If you're using the product in some shape or form, no reason for you to sell it just yet, because most likely your kids are gonna use it.
Yeah.
And that's how I invest pretty much for them. I'm not gonna buy a firm. I don't even know all these new like Upstart in their portfolio. I'm sure, can they grow? Yeah, I'm sure they can grow, but they're never gonna be in their portfolio.
Shorty had a quick question. Like, why would you buy a mutual fund and not just like SPY or Qs? Because at the end, you're trying to model SPY and Qs, right?
They do, yeah. And sometimes, if it's a cheaper price, or what's the weighted portfolio of it might be different. If you know seasonality of some of the stocks that are in S&P versus the mutual fund, and you check the returns, like let's say 10-year returns, or you check the returns when inflation periods were there are certain stocks that do better versus others.
Or maybe you have a 401k and you have no choice but to buy mutual funds.
Yeah. If you do have 401k, some of your brokers, unless you, I don't even know, maybe even through Brokerage Link, you're forced to buy mutual funds instead of the ETFs.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm forced to buy mutual funds.
Same.
Yeah. You can try email your admins, but they'll probably tell you fuck off. So.
Well, they told me it was law. Like by law, you have to buy mutual funds.
They're just lazy. That's why they said it's by law.
Nice.
Protecting you, right?
I believe them. Whatever. I was like, okay.
When you don't know the answer, just say it's law.
Always.
Hey Shorty, could you post the 4 questions of volume profile? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever posted it somewhere, but I've been trying to find it.
Shorty's Corner, because you haven't read it. It's Shorty's Corner on 3:30.
Okay. Thank you.
He's talking about this. I just put it in the main chat. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it night. Spend some time with the wife. Kids are asleep, so I will catch you guys tomorrow. Should be a little bit better range, I would say. When I say range, should be more follow through on stuff that we go from here on out. And from news perspective, I don't know, TJ, what do we have tomorrow? Ooh.
Got PPI and job growth. It's pretty packed.
Yeah, I take that back. What I said. Yeah, there's gonna be some. Yeah, there's gonna be some flash moves tomorrow. Yeah, there goes. Yeah. Whew, yeah. If you're new, I hate telling this, but don't trade as much tomorrow till we see the real move. Like here, don't get too excited. Be patient tomorrow. They can pop this. If they pop this and lose it, that's your signal to short.
Looks like I should.
Right here.
Looks like I should DM you, Shorty. You don't have enough DMs right now.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to announce everything at 8:30, right?
Yeah, that's fine. And then if they wait and if they pop it, if you want to short, don't short the tops. I would want to see the pullbacks. This is gonna be key on NQ. Oh, I don't know what am I sharing? I'm on toss.
Yeah, I was wondering, man.
I'm looking at freaking.
And Friday we got bank ER, so it's like pretty tight.
The JPM ER, I'm gonna listen in on that one. I don't know if you guys want, we can listen in together on that one. I don't know what time it is, but that one's really important.
I think it's
4
pretty
p.m.
That'll be cool.
It's after, I guess.
Oh, it's after.
We should definitely listen. I'll make sure we find some time and listen to it, because unrealized losses for JPM can I mean, if they have HTM portfolio on the bond side, it can cause a little.
But maybe they'll be like, hey, we got a lot of deposits, so we have a lot of cash.
Fuck their deposits. They just want to see your unrealized losses. Now realize if they sold any from their HTM portfolio. I don't care.
There's also a lot of news about Einstein, what's that, Epstein or whatever, like
Epstein.
Yeah, they said like JPM knew about him and his like what he was doing since 2006.
Wow. Well, I think Jamie Dimon is the most influential and the strongest person in America right now. So I don't think you're gonna touch him.
Kirsten, you're right. It's on Friday pre-market. I thought it was tomorrow.
They're giving a good look to retail, so that'd be good. If they give us this look on ES, we gotta take it. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off. Hopefully, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember,
Thanks a lot.
There's
Have a good
many
night.
news. There's gonna be a lot of volatility.
Thank you.
So.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thanks so much, Shorty. Thanks, Rockets. Good night, everyone.
Later.
Night.